In this day and age, the line between a feature and a cosign is kind of blurry.
How much weight was Ye's cosign hold in reference to 2 Chainz and Chief Keef? Will it actually do something? Chief Keef, I'm not sold on him as an artist. I think it's interesting that more people fucking with him because Ye's fucking with him. I feel like, first of all, I feel like there's different levels of cosigning. I think that one of the first levels of cosigning is putting somebody on your song.
On both accounts between Chief Keef and 2 Chainz, like 2 Chainz already had his little strong movement before Kanye put him on Mercy, and then Chief Keef, his name was buzzing before the whole I Don't Like thing came out. People been telling me like, yo, get with this Chief Keef kid. I think the Kanye cosign enlightens or broadens the light, but it wasn't necessarily where no one knew about him and Kanye just put him on a remix. On a remix that has yet to come out.
If you don't fuck with them, if you don't fuck with their flow, their subject matter, their voice, their movement, you're not gonna put them on your song, especially if you're Kanye and you don't have to put them on your song. Ye is not one of the rappers that has to stay with the new hot whatever.
But then you look at 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz was on fire regardless.
Right.
People forget that he came out of Ludacris's camp first, where he was Titty Boy, and he already had a major hit with the Duffel Bag Boys.
Wayne who actually
by jumping on the hook
before Luda.
But people knew who he was just from rolling with Luda. He's not a stranger. He's damn near a vet who's just now coming into his own.
And at this point, he's been co-signed by Wayne, by Luda,
right.
And Ye is just the latest.
Yeah, like what cosign did Kanye give?
That put the hot rapper on a record.
Chief Keef is not the hot rapper.
Talking about 2 Chainz.
Oh.
If he put you on a record, yes, that is.
You should clarify.
Recording with somebody is a
We're all
cosign.
talking about 2 Chainz.
No, I want you
The
specifically.
line of conversation
I don't care what they're doing. I want you specifically to clarify what you're talking about.
There are cases where a cosign, where a feature does mean a cosign. There are plenty of cases where somebody being on a record with somebody else means, you know, I am endorsing this person fully. But 75% of the time, it's just the case of that person wanting a particular sound on their record and reaching out to somebody accordingly.
The line of conversation was 2 Chainz.
I'm talking about you.
So because you can't, so you gotta stop drinking.
I hate him.
The 2 Chainz cosign was already there before Kanye, because actually, what's actually funny is Luda has not employed, but you know, asked 2 Chainz to A&R his new project. I think without the Kanye cosign, his stamp of approval is already there within the industry.
Kanye putting Jay, not likening Jay to 2 Chainz, but is Kanye putting Jay on the record, him co-signing Jay?
Absolutely.
I think no.
So the feature is not necessarily a cosign.
But I do think there are billions of rappers who would love to be on Ye's record or on a record with Ye.
There are billions of rappers
I
who
think
would love
that
to have
is
the traction
somewhat.
that 2 Chainz has right now.
No. I think that is somewhat saying I fuck with them because I'm on a record with them.
I agree with that too.
You don't get on a record with somebody you don't fuck with.
As far as features and cosigns are concerned, I think there's a thin line between, you know, I'm fucking with you versus I cosign. You dig what I mean? Chief Keef is below the level of almost everybody who he's been fucking with recently. So these are all cosigns. Like everybody is cosigning him, everybody's putting him on and giving him an opportunity and exposing him to a bigger audience, an audience he didn't have at first.
All right, just because I fuck with you, like, is that a cosign or?
Here's the way I look at it. Like if I don't fuck with you, I'm not going to be seen publicly really kicking it with you. I'm not going to like.
Here's how we can wrap this up. Here's how we can wrap this up. Nas and Jay were beefing.
Chief Keef is on house arrest. He ain't hanging out in the club with nobody.
That ain't got shit to do with nothing. He's out every day. He don't give a fuck about that cosign. His chill button is broken.
The cosign discussion was interesting because on one hand you have Chief Keef getting a cosign from Kanye and his team for I Don't Like. And to speak to that, you know, I've heard a lot of people already approach me about Chief Keef and told me who he was and, you know, what kind of movement him and his 300 team have in Chicago. You know, this was before Kanye, you know, co-signed him or whatever you want to call it.
Nas and Jay were beefing hard body. When Jay did his I Declare War concert and Nas showed up, that was a cosign. That was we're no longer beefing.
That was Nas showing up to his boss's event. That was not a cosign.
But him showing up saying we are cool. Him showing up and saying, yo, we're cool.
We're sharing the stage together.
Saying, yo, don't fuck with my release date.
Okay, you're talking about the semantics behind it.
Yeah, that's some other shit.
If it was somebody else making that point, I would say that it was valid.
French Montana and Jim Jones will never do a track together.
Not French Montana.
Really?
Wait, what was
Really? Really?
French Montana and Jim Jones will never do a record together because they don't co-sign each other. They don't fuck with each other.
Together anymore?
Alright, so I guess we have to really identify what the cosign and what the...
A feature does not a cosign base.
I don't agree with that.
depending on who's on what level and where each artist stands, that can be seen as a cosign.
If you're both struggling rappers, if you're both looking to get on, then no, it's not a cosign. Y'all both are still trying to get on. Ye does not need Chief Keef. Ye doesn't really need.
Ye with Chief Keef is a cosign.
Right.
Ye with 2 Chainz is
It's not a cosign.
It's not a
2 Chainz
cosign.
does not need Kanye.
It's not a cosign.
It's a feature.
Right, exactly.
And that's a feature does not a cosign.
I don't think he needs. I don't think he needs Kanye, but I think it helps him greatly to have Kanye.
It's not a cosign.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna
A feature is not a cosign name.
But a feature can be a cosign.
I think Wiz and Waka being around each other and seeing each other out in a public setting kind of says, I'm fucking with you, versus one being on another person's record saying I'm co-signing. Now, at the same time, Waka and Wiz are kind of on the same level. They really can't help each other get a leg up, fame-wise or anything like that.
Okay, look at Mercy. More people talking about Mercy than they were Riot.
Because it's Kanye.
Right.
But it's not a cosign.
How is it not?
Because it's not, huh?
Involving yourself in a project is not
Boom.
No, it's not a
Yes,
cosign.
it is. That is
Personally,
Yeah, but that's not cashing the check. You don't.
He
That's
put
not
him on a highly anticipated. They hyped it up, and then he turned around and he's standing behind him silently on 106 in Park.
it was in New York. They're on the same label.
If you can cut a check and that check clears, then you'll find that it's very possible to get somebody to fuck with a feature. Jazz is rapped on no fewer than 15 records that I've heard, and she won't even return those people's calls now. So her rap career can be the case where it's just a matter of her hopping on records for the sake of, you know, a couple of greenbacks. I don't see why anybody else should be above that rule.
It got added
He's
to his
silently
promo run.
co-signing. He's the same. Like he's saying, yo.
I would say that move on 106 is a cosign more than the Mercy feature.
Either way, it's a
No, it's not either
cosign.
way. More than that, more than the feature, that him standing and not saying anything, that's a cosign.
talking about Chief Keef.
No, we're talking
We're talking about 2 Chainz. We all agree that he is co-signing Chief
Chief
Keef.
Keef. All right,
Yeah,
so
Chief
now we're
Keef
talking
needs
about-
him.
now we're
Ye
talking
don't
about-
need a Chief Keef.
2 Chainz would be fine without Kanye's
I
cosign.
agree too, but just because someone co-signs you doesn't mean that you can't be fine without it. Like, that's not a cosign. A cosign is not do or die. A cosign is I'm putting my shit behind yours.
You know what?
I'm putting my name behind yours.
You know what?
I think that as soon as it's a feature, then that means you co-sign. Why would you be part of a project that you don't back up or believe in? Why would you want to be part of artwork that you don't think is a great art piece? Why would you do that?
No, it's not so much that as it is I fuck with you.
That's a I fuck with 2 Chainz. That's not like I cosign. Like, that's none of that shit. That feature was not that.
See, but
him on 106 was the cosign.
Yeah, we agree on that.
I just don't think the feature. I think it was a feature.
It's a feature and that's it.
All right, put it like this: if Kanye was on 2 Chainz' single, the one that's coming out today, I think that would be a cosign.
What's the odds that you're gonna see Ross featured on a Jeezy song or Jeezy featured on a Ross song?
What does that do anything?
Because they don't fuck with one another. So you're not going
That's
to
completely
see
different.
But
Each other to cosign.
you niggas.
I
talking about the cosign
okay.
as a come on.
I see it.
Exactly.
I see it.
Exactly. Exactly what he just said.
Cosign is a come up.
I'm standing
Is a different thing from what Ye is doing with 2 Chainz.
Yeah, he's not saying,
It's not
yo,
that
I'm gonna help you
cosign
come
is a
up.
come up, right?
He's saying, I support this.
I think that's more of an alignment than like I align myself with this
Let's
dude.
phrase it different.
Yeah, Kanye aligns himself with 2 Chainz and cosigns Chief Keef.
That's it. That's it.
Fine, I'll agree with Mecca because Mecca said it.
Low Key has a site called YouHeardThatNews.com. Several times, I know a lot of artists or up and coming artists, I've tried to give them money to feature people's things.
Are we still talking about this cosign shit?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Wait, no, maybe she's gonna make a point.
There's
Turn it
certain
off.
things you won't post on your site because you don't want to be affiliated. Because if you do, then that means you co-sign it, right? If he doesn't like it, he will not post it.
No, it doesn't. It means I don't like it.
No.
Yes.
Every feature. So what? A feature, you have to like the track and whatever. If you don't like it, then you don't be a part of the project. If
That's not true. When I post things I don't like, I just don't like that particular song or whatever. Or I may not be a fan of that particular artist. If I present a project, that's my cosign. Today I co-signed DJ Steph Floss. He just put out a mixtape called Hot in Cleveland too. Then I presented it with him in live mixtapes. That's a cosign. Now because I post your material, like I like the song, it's cool. I'm not co-signing you as an artist because you're not future songs to be trash. But what you have out right now, like, that's cool. I fuck with it. If you see that you heard that new symbol, if I'm, you know, hosting an event of yours, I'm co-signing.
To some people, if you feature an artist on a track, it's automatically a cosign.